Here we are, live again. For those people watching later, might be a little boring. For those people watching now, it's cool because you get to hang out with me and ask questions, and ask questions, and hang out and ask questions. You get the idea. What I actually want to do here is try something I haven't done before. Dennis, hey. Dennis, hey. You get your kit yet? Hey, Dan. Okay, Friday, good, okay. I'm going to try something here. I want to see if I can share this on Facebook. And I'll be back here. I want to see if I can share this in the chainsaw repair groups on Facebook. And see if this works. Post. Come join us live. Nice. Okay. See if that actually works. Okay, let's go back to YouTube here so I can hang out. Dennis, we got Brian. Hey, Brian. 663. Yeah. Iliovi, how's it going? 8 people here. Okay, cool. For some reason, my thumbnail didn't upload, but that's okay. I've been waiting for this for a week and a half. This stupid fuel line. This is $18 at my steel dealer. This is too much of an echo. Hang on. Let's fix that. Georgie. Hi. First like. Sweet. Thanks. William Prophet. How's it going? So, I got this 200T here, and there's nothing. Right, there's not much in there. But this darn fuel line was old and kind of cracked. Of course, getting it out may not be so easy. Okay, it looks like the brass thing is this direction. Right, okay. There we go. Of course, this fuel filter's still on there. This fuel filter was new, but this line cracked out here when I put it in, so this line's old. Just a little rip. You know, if I see a little rip, forget it. If you're doing a rebuild, give it the heave. But don't forget to salvage your tank vent. So I've already had this thing together once and running, but because of that stupid crack, I needed to take it apart again. So, whatever. All right. So there's an arrow here, an arrow here. Pay attention to that. A little bit of grease on here just to make things a little easier. while I have it here, I might as well just put the fuel filter on. You don't want to dip this into the fuel, because if you happen to have dirty fuel in the thing or whatever, then the first taste your brand new carburetor is going to get is of dirty fuel. Let's see, will this just press in here as it should? It should. Hey, Casey. Your part is shipped, by the way. Almost. There. Beauty. Just perfect. Casey, you'll probably get it tomorrow or Friday. Put that on in a minute. All right. While we're in here, might as well do all bolt checks again. Now, normally I don't like to tighten up the muffler until I get this on. It's just easier, but in this case, couldn't do that, so whatever. If anybody else is interested, the rest of the build is on my live videos somewhere. I did put a little grease on this because I want to be able to get it off again. And this holds it tight enough that I'm just not worried about greasing it, as opposed to, you know, you could Loctite this on or 1184 or anything like that, but this darn thing holds it so good that I'm just not worried about it. And when I put this square down to hold it on, I put it on so that these tabs are accessible front to back as opposed to side to side. They're just easier to get here. I realize my framing is not so good. Hang on. That should be better. All right. Some Loctite. Any questions, guys? Anything going on? All just hanging out? Let's see. We had New Year's Day yesterday, and I didn't come on live mostly because I was sleeping. I did actually get out in the mill though. Was out in the mill a little bit yesterday. So that was fun. I had to mill up the few last pieces of oak there. Frank! Frank, buddy. I see you all over the place, but I never get to talk with you. I never get to hang out. Everybody keeps stealing your beautiful saws that you have. And then you have too many and you have to put them in storage, you know? This is usually the point where I've forgotten something. Usually something critical. Doctor should get released from late duty. Okay. I hope you're okay. It's okay, Frank. This channel is not all necessarily about watching. It's about interacting. So I hope that you can come back and hang out. Hernia surgery 6 weeks ago. Oh, okay. All right. This is in there. So the fuel filter's in. Good. So the tank is now on. Should be able to put the flywheel on. Makes sense. Woodruff key goes in there. There we go. Did come up with another one that's still tool because it should make another toolbox. Cool. The thing is, Frank, I would love to be able to make it look more professional looking, but every time I do something, it adds cost to the kits. And I'd love to make it look better and whatnot, but literally the price of the kits right now is at the limit of what people will pay for them, you know? So every time I do something else, you know, what I'm faced with is either basically it not being worth it for me to take the kit down to the post office or, you know, or have a cooler kit. So, you know, it's what I'm playing with right now with the money. Yeah, you know, if I had 1 million units, it certainly would make more sense. But since I don't, then we're just not there, you know? this. Forget about that. Grand. And the thing is, I don't think we'll ever be there. I really don't think so. I just don't think that there's that much use worldwide for the kits. There's not enough people doing these type of rebuilds, and really they are a one and done kind of a sale for the most part. I mean, there's just no, for all intents and purposes, there's no wear. So if it's a one and done sale, you know, I don't have anything kind of ongoing that allows me to have, you know, residual income, if you will, to put towards or anything else, you know. All right, just putting some nylon rope in here as a piston stop. Yeah, that would be cool. The spec on these is over 20 foot-pounds. I use 13, just so everybody knows. I think 20 foot-pounds is a lot, but I know that that's spec, but I think it's a lot. Anyway, a little bit of Loctite and 13 foot-pounds seems to serve me well in most cases. Brand new. I've already checked the compression on this. I know I got compression. I know it goes, so not that worried about it. Just gonna put this in here. Back this off to like 10 foot-pounds. Even that's a bit much. That's enough. I don't want to do anymore. Okay, so the other thing that I had missed was this dumb thing in here, which is some type of funny barrier. And it's a heat shield, a plastic heat shield, so I did indeed remember that. Right, that was the other thing that I had forgotten. Whoops. Okay. Top handle goes back on, I guess. I don't know. The impulse line I try to put on first because it's kind of tricky. And I visually look and make sure it is all the way on there. Okay. Then we can do the boot here. And I actually did a string, the string boot technique before. I mean, you don't really need to do it that way. You can just gently pull the boot through. You do have to be super careful to check the boot and make sure that indeed it's all intact. You know, no pinholes even. You get a little pinhole in a boot and that'll wreck your saw, you know. But I just pull it through just like that for hemostats. takes a little bit of practice to do that. What advice saw headset on Steel 039 20-inch? Not much. You mean what head to stick on there? What cylinder head? The Steel 029 and 039 and 290 and 390s are not saws that I work on. They are saws that I have sworn off. So I'm just not working on those. So I don't have a particular piece of advice on which one to get. Sorry, not my thing. In general, with stuff like that, I'd probably say go, OEM if you can. But in general, I'm not convinced that those saws are really worth rebuilding. Some people really like them. You might do better if you just sell it as a parts saw. But there's all kinds of different ways to look at that. AV screw in the back. Two wires here. Somebody had the question, which wire is what and what do they do. The black wire actually comes from the ignition coil. That is the kill wire, and it gets grounded to this yellow wire via the switch when you turn it off. When you move the switch into the off position, that's the idea. And I'm missing that one screw, so we'll get one. No, I'm not missing that one screw. It's right here. So the screw for the ground is actually, it's for a number of things. It's a case screw, it's for the AV mount, and it's for the ground. So it's does triple duty, this one screw. That screw right there. AV mount screw here. Let's put the carburetor on. We'll hang the throttle here first. And you just let it kind of dangle there. But when you put the carb on, you can come through the side and attach the throttle. That's basically what you do first. Then you pull the choke up and over. Then you can stick the fuel line on. Sometimes. Come on. Fuel line's on. Choke line goes in. Tank vent gets tucked up there, right there. I don't usually put this on until I have it tuned. Just me. Let's finish these parts here. Oh, a chain and bar and chain. Give me. Are you just length or what bar and chain combo, like brand? A 039, yeah, 20-inch sounds about right. A lot of the times when we ask about bar and chain length, I think the main thing to actually ask is, can the oiler handle it? Because I've seen some really tiny saws run some really long bars. And as long as you keep the chain sharp, doesn't seem to be a problem as long as the oiler can keep up. You know? So it depends on how robust your oiler is. And on that 039, I don't have a great sense of how good the oiler is. I'm just not familiar with that saw. But that is usually what determines the length of the bar, at least for me. With an 039, I probably wouldn't go much longer than a 20, maybe 24. But if I'm asking it to do 24, I'd probably be grabbing a different saw. Does that make sense? I suppose technically the 029 or 290 runs a 20-inch bar. The 390 is probably kind of intended to go with a 24 because it's a little bit bigger bore. Georgie, I hope that answers your question. I'm not sure exactly, what you're asking. If it's brand of chain, I'm not hugely brand specific. I mainly use Oregon chain. I know there are guys that love to run steel chain. It's like twice as expensive in some cases, so I'm just not sure that the added expense is worth it. I mean, I think steel chain runs nice, but I just don't know if it's worth 50% extra or whatever it is extra. I think the 039 or MS390, I think those saws are intended to be run with a 24-inch bar. You can run it with a 20, but I think the intention of the saw, because it has a bigger bore than the 290, I think the intention is to run it with a 24-inch. 15 people watching. Who's here? Who showed up? Nobody's commenting. The whole idea of watching live is that you guys get to comment. That I tightened. I'm going to put the spark plug back on. Shoot, we're almost done here. Hopefully it runs. Do I have canned gas in here? I don't actually have canned gas in here. Crap, I gotta go out to the shed and get some. Okay. Right. That doesn't work. Wondering where this thing was. Right behind me. Gotta be careful, you might start it. Now we have to put these in here. Sit properly. You probably could justify a new one, but it's just a cover, so. It's 15 people here, but nobody's commenting, so who's here? The whole idea of live is you can interact and heckle or whatever, you know. Almost done, just putting the darn covers on. Now 18 people here. Who showed up? 8 people. Who showed up? Kev Berry. Hey, Kev. Just arrived. Can you start again? Missed the beginning. Yeah, sure. I'll just take this right apart for you. Just give me about 15 minutes. I'll tear it down for you. How's that? Bunch of funny guys around here. Okay, brand new carburetor, new rings, new muffler, new chain catcher. Fuel line, filter. Is that the other thing? Still have to see if this actually holds bar oil. But I'm going to get, because it got dropped here. And I just kind of bent it out a bit. And I filled it in with JB Weld. And then I use sealer on here. So hopefully it holds. At least it's going to leak less than before. And also, since this is kind of high up, when it sits, it's not going to likely leak. So, I guess we can put the bar and chain on. Then I gotta go get some gas and some oil, I guess. Don't think I have any oil here, and I don't have any gas in the basement either. Well, the oil hole certainly looks plugged. That doesn't help. Ugly rope on the starter, yeah. I didn't do that, so I'm just gonna leave it. Let's see it pop. Yeah, I gotta go get some gas. We'll get it to pop. Don't worry. Everybody gets so worried. I'm not gonna let it pop. All right, all right. Where is the oil hole? Just me, or there's no oil hole here. That doesn't make any sense. That don't fly. Oh, it must go. Okay. Does it use the tensioner? Yeah, I think it uses the tensioner hole on the opposite side. Funny, how did I not know that? Weird. Matt. We're going to blame it on Dennis, actually. Ugh, what a rock chain. Really, guys? No, what's going on there for now? Because I don't got anything else. I know, you guys are saying, that guy's too slow. There's no way he would make it out in the woods. You're right, I probably wouldn't. slow. I'm like crazy slow. Still a little loose. This is a 55 drive link. Okay. Whatever. Let me run out to the shed. I'll be back in like a minute or two because I gotta get some gas. Be right back. Okay. How are we doing? Well, this one must oil through the tensioner hole. It has to because there's no other oiler holes. Yes, I like the impact too. Okay, fine. Let's have a look at that because rather than making it pop, let's have a look at that because I don't remember. It's funny, this bar doesn't have oiler holes. It literally has to oil through the tensioner hole. Hey, Nikki. Can anybody else see this? Sorry, hang on. There's no oil hole. Normally there's an oil hole right here. Let me bring you guys closer if at all possible. Yeah, normally, let's see. Can you guys see that? Steel bar and chain. Normally there's an oiler hole set up right here. Hey, Alan. Hey, Travis. There's no oiler hole here. Because when you flip the bar, the oiler hole has to go here. Right, I did look in the guide, and I looked in the guide, and basically the only opening is in the tensioner hole. But looking at where the oiler comes out, here I'll pull the chain off. Hang on a second. Okay, so there's no oiler hole. And the only communication with the guide rail is the tensioner hole. Is definitely, you know, on the top doesn't line up with the oiler hole. Hey, James. If anybody has an answer for this, because maybe this is the wrong bar. 3005? It's a 3005. Is this the wrong bar for this saw? Should I just punch an oiler hole? You know? If anybody can't see the bar, well, here, okay, so this is a 3005 bar, and that's what it says on here. 3005, but there's no oiler hole. There's only the tensioner holes, and the tensioner hole does not line up with the oil thing here. Yeah, I'll let you guys Google it. Could very well be the wrong bar. It's not my setup. I didn't come up with this, but I mean the bar itself does fit, other than the fact it doesn't fit with the oiler. So it seems to me like I should just pop a hole, just drill a hole in there if I can. $3,005 is the mount. Pico. Made in West Germany. Oh, shoot. It's an oldie. Probably hasn't gotten oiled in a lifetime. Let's see here. There we go. It'll grease out the tip. That's good. I think I should pop an oil hole in there. What do you guys think? Should I try it? I don't even know if I can drill into this. It's probably hard. Try it. Why the heck not? Yeah. Let's see if I can drill a hole into it. Don't worry, we'll get it to pop soon. I just would be nice to have a bar and chain on it, you know? Let's see if I can. Is that saw worth a new bar? Probably. Probably no harm in trying to drill a hole. Doesn't need to be that much higher. I need like 1/8 of an inch hole, a little bit higher, and I'll be good. Now I have to look where my punches are. Oh, here's my punch. Like here. That punch isn't working. Next punch. Here's my other punch. But I had a punch that was working. Oh, we got one to work the other night. I don't know. Why does nothing go right? my auto punch? I had that one there, not there. Maybe here. That's not it. That is not it. This one's all rusty and stuff. That's not the one that we fixed. So you could just hit it with a hammer. Kids, this is not the way to use an auto punch. Maybe it gives enough just to see if I can get a drill started, but this may be too hard. I might not be able to drill it. I can drill it, but the drill wants to walk. See? Yeah, that'll drill. Okay. Almost. There we go. Even got a bit of an angle to it. Go me. Okay. It's interesting. Numb it first. Well, this is 55 drive length, so this is not for 200 models. Well, 50. I think this is like a 16-inch bar. Normally not used on, but if the mount is correct, then I don't know. Weird. So I got photos from Kev. Thanks, Kev. Well, I think it's more likely that that hole now will interact with the that line that is the oil line there, or whatever that's called. I'm at first. Did plenty of that today. Plenty more to do tomorrow. And no, the chain's not on backwards. Got it right for once. Now it's a universal bar, right? Universal bar mount. UBM. So can't believe I didn't think of that before. Georgie, you need to patent that, or copyright it, or trademark it, something. UBM, universal bar mount. It's yours, buddy. Did I drill both sides? No. Nope, not going to worry about that. I will let the owner worry about that. I'll let them not get a new bar. This one's made in West Germany. It's kind of time. Now, I did learn something from not too long ago. It was if you're selling a saw or whatever, canned gas is the ticket for saws that are going back to a owner or somebody else, because you don't want to have any trouble. Right? Right. Good. Man, am I thirsty. Okay. Not good to drink. Ta-da. Why canned gas? Because I had trouble with Dave Shively's saw. Shipped it out to California, and somehow and in some way there was something wrong with the screen in the carburetor, and that was the only part that I replaced, and I replaced it with new. So it somehow got gummed up with whatever gas I used. I don't know how it happened, but it got gummed up with whatever gas I used. So I'm going to use canned gas for saws that go to anybody else. I think that's good policy in general. Okay, choke's on. Gas is in there. You heard it. Sounds mean. So Brian and Ryan, you got a rebuilt 200 right here, and we'll do a few ups and downs here with the heat cycles, and then return it to you. Hopefully the oiler works. Looks like it's already got oil in the bar, but let's see if it restarts. Certainly looks like there's oil on there. I'm inside right now, so I don't play with it too much because the silly alarm going to go off. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one's going to rip. Actually, I'm going to put this on here, this plastic piece. So this plastic, so I know that it runs pretty close. I mean, just I haven't even adjusted the screws, and it sounds good. So probably don't even need to do a whole lot of adjustment at all. Sometimes I don't even adjust the screws from factory on these factory carburetors. Brand new carburetor. The 200T doesn't need that much adjustment. Okay. All right, so what else do we have to do tonight? That was the main thing. I'm going to go see if the mailman brought me anything. If he did, maybe we can continue on with something else. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go outside and see if there's any goodies for me. Okay, well, yes and no. So this isn't exactly chainsaw parts, but it is the carburetor kit to the Briggs motor. Which is great, except for the fact that I need to do a head or a valve job on it, and I don't have the tools to finish that job. So I don't think I'm going to do this tonight. Hey, Alan. Thanks. What else? So I'm not going to do this job tonight. I want to get all the stuff that I need to work on that Briggs motor, and that way we can do it all at once. What else do I have? I'm still waiting on the parts for the 350, and I'm waiting on the air horn for the 394. So other than that, unless I get that stuff, I'm kind of paralyzed for a bit. So, while I have everybody here, almost 25 viewers. It's awesome. While I have everybody here, is any questions about tools? The crank tools, is there any questions about that? Comments? I'm basically out of stock. I'm waiting on the machinist. He said 3 to 4 weeks. So it's going to be a little bit of a wait for those people that are interested in tools. I'm sorry, I just can't keep these things in stock. I have such a hard time with that. If anybody has any questions, we can go over that right now. Otherwise, I'm going to go hang out with the family for a few minutes. What else did I want to go over with you guys? Travis, you gonna try to do your own tools? The thing with building your own, I mean, I've done it, and I've done it by hand, and it does work. The amount of time that it takes to build my own tools is crazy. It's just, it was nuts. If you got really good tools to drill everything out, then, oh, you know what I have? I have one more chain to sharpen, so we can do that. You want to do that? I have one more chain sitting around that we can sharpen, so we can chat while I'm sharpening. Just need to put this up here as kind of a backdrop. Where is this? I do have a lathe. The lathe that I use, I do make part of these tools like myself. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here's a box of, these are small sleeves. I do actually make those myself, but that machining is pretty straightforward once you're set up. Once you have the whole setup done, you can make a bunch of those without too much trouble. But the rods, the threaded rods, are particularly tricky because it's very time consuming to drill them out on center and all that stuff. It's also quite time consuming to tap them and to also wait for the correct taps. The taps for a lot of these saws are difficult to obtain and often not cheap, and often they send you the wrong taps. So I have a whole pile of M14x1 right-hand taps sitting around because different companies kept sending me the wrong part. And you'd wait weeks for the part to come in, and it would be wrong. So very, very frustrating. Overall, I mean, if you want to make your own, I'm not going to, I mean, I don't have a patent on it, so you can go for it. But I can tell you that a lot of guys that have done their own said it would have been far easier to buy it from me. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any in stock, but I will in a few weeks. So, no lathe, just got one saw to build and no rush to do it. Figured I'd try to get the full experience trying to make my own for one saw. Travis, I mean, I did some of mine freehand. You know, I literally did mine freehand and they still worked. So it's not impossible, but you have to have the taps. You have to be able to drill them out. You know, and there's other ways to do it too, you know. Yeah, I made one for the 2x4 and the 550. It was a pain. Yeah, they're a pain. TD, good evening, Matthew. Happy New Year's to you and your loved ones. Evening, TD, good evening. Yes, Happy New Year's. So let's see if we can do that one last chain here. And maybe call it a night. Any tips on building an 046D cylinder? No, I don't think, I've not built an 046. I built an 044, just the Chinese one. So I don't have any particular tips on the 046s. Sorry. Hot cold for clutch side. That's another thing you could do, because Travis, it depends on what saw you're building, but it might be easier to freeze the crank and heat up the bearing a little bit on the clutch side, and then use an M8 by 1.0 on the flywheel side to pull it through. It's certainly easier to drill that out. It's certainly easier to find that tap, M8 by 1 or M10 by 1, whichever, I don't know what saw you're building, but M10 by 1 or M8 by 1 are certainly going to be easier to get right-handed taps than the metric odd size ones for the clutch side. Pretty much no matter what you're. Canned gas, no alcohol. Yeah, well, I didn't even have a drink on New Year's. You know that? Just didn't. Whatever. It's funny because my wife and it was like 12:30. We looked at each other. We're like, oh, I guess it's New Year's. Right. I'm gonna do this. Night, James. You going to church or Bible study? What's tonight? Wednesday? Bible study. Or youth group. Usually youth group. Not since 83 I was responding to Beer Ghost. Husky gave me 2 years. Yes. Same here at church night. Gotta run. Alright, run guys. Leonard. Ice Road. Hey, Ice Road. Bible study. See? It's Wednesday night. Alright. And these are pretty rocked. See, I don't even know if this one's worth it to do. Because this is rocked. I gotta take off 3/32 of an inch here. I don't know. Is it ripping chain? No. Actually, you guys want me here? You know what? I'll put you over here where you were last night, and that way you can see exactly what I'm doing. But this is not intended to be a channel that instructs you on how to do sharpening. That's not the idea. Hang on a second, guys. Let me move my camera here. I'm coming back, don't worry. There. Oh no. Okay. of time to get the teeth there. Are we still on? Yeah, we're still on. Let's see, can I bring you closer? Yeah, Frawley's has pretty good prices. I like Nate at Performance Outdoor in Ohio. And hybrid, yeah, ripping chain is faster. Although I just talked to Glock 37 not too while ago, and he was saying that he likes square file. Anything that basically off the roll steel square file chain is very good, even though it's not technically ripping chain. How's the picture, guys? Is that okay? Can you see everything okay? No, a square file is usually like 30 degree, but it's actually square instead of round ground. So these are round ground with a round profile. Square ground, and you end up with basically a 45, 45, 45 directly on the tooth, I think. So, whatever. Just not enough. So essentially 35 whacks, and it gets me down to where the chain is no longer damaged. It's a lot of doing. Better than doing it all by hand, but can bring you over here. Just want to make sure this ain't blue. File 30-degree sharp pointed tip, yes. Ice Road, you have bad news? What? What's going on, buddy? These chains are for me. These were actually given to me by somebody, yeah, that I do business with, but he basically uses them until they're done and then just hands them to me. So I'll hang these in the shed and use them as needed. Quite at the edge. Yeah, it'd be nice. He dropped off like 8 chains to me. He's like, here, you know, you can use these. I'm like, okay. Super Dave Osborne. I don't know who Dave Osborne is. You got a link, Ice Road? See, this is going to get it closer to where it needs to be, but not perfect. A little loaded, that's all. job. Old age, he was 76. What did Super Dave Osborne do? What TV show was he on? I try to touch up once a tank, if at all possible. Gets loaded. Two-stroke, welcome. How long does the grinding wheel last? I don't know. I flipped it once. That edge looks pretty good. Down to 12 people. Just got here. What I missed? Welcome, Edwin. I'm just doing some sharpening. You missed me putting together a 200T. And apparently, Super Dave Osborne's gone. So I didn't know. I bet if he's a stuntman, I'm sure that I've seen what he does, but just not familiar, guys. Sorry. Yeah, this chain is rock. go. That's better. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. About 5 to go. I'm really not doing this because I need the chain. I'm doing this to hang out with you guys. Just a pain in the neck to get this back up and going, though. There you go. 4 more. I don't know if this smells like victory. One, 2, 3, and then we're sharp. There you go. 1, 2, and that's it. On the inside. Tooth, and last one. How are we looking? Yeah, I saw Billy almost bought it there with that darn branch. Lucky he was wearing his helmet. Can I get a diamond wheel? Yeah, I could probably actually a diamond or CBN wheel probably could. I would probably get a different grinder before I did that, but I think that would be, you know, I want to be able to angle it over just a little bit more and be able to come in at a little bit more of an angle. That way you end up with a little bit more hook. Definitely need to adjust the rakers on that. Anyway, the real reason I'm doing the chains is not necessarily. I mean, I use these, or at least I might. But it's not like I really got lots of use for chain. So, really, reason I'm doing these is because I have something to do while I'm hanging out with you guys. You know, how much different they're worth. No, well, grinding's grinding. You know, how much are save you? Save my hand with a tiny branch, less than an inch. Yeah. You gotta watch out. Yeah, that's pretty sharp. Oh yeah, that shaves my fingernail, no problem. Anyway, let's see. The infomercial of the night. I do have 394s for sale. So if anybody wants a 394 or any tools, they can let me know. Well, mouths actually bleed if you poke them the wrong way. I suppose my hands do too, but whatever. Yeah, if you guys want tools, let me know. Gonna put my email in here. You want any information, questions, anything like that? Yeah, Frank, I ended up with two stroke. I don't got a dead one. Sorry, Frank might. Yeah, I got a couple ported 394s that I've basically done over here live, and you know, be good to get rid of them. I don't really need them. I got a lot of fresh new parts into them, and you know, I got one here with a brand new carburetor, brand new gas tank, brand new starter cover, brand new clutch cover, brand new top cover, air filter, all kinds of other goodies. Yeah, in Australia wouldn't, you know, wouldn't be good. You can slab with them. I do. I don't like chainsaw milling in general, but I use a 394 when I do. And I'm really just trying to get rid of stuff, and that way I can, you know, bring kind of this chapter here to a close and move on to the next one, whatever that might be. Um, I'm not necessarily getting out of saws. It's just that I've well, I know everybody's broke. Um, just trying to move on because saws have literally occupied years of my life here, and there's so many other things I have to do. What is the inner diameter of the sleeve for the rods? 3/4 inch. I use 3/4 inch threaded rod. And the tip has about 55 thousandths wall thickness. So then the outer diameter ends up being just inside 22 millimeters. so it fits in a 22 millimeter seal pocket. Does that help? Yeah, Frank, I think I'm gonna be around. I have a new job. Um, uh, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I've got all kinds of other priorities that have kind of started to take over my life, and I've done a lot of what I set out to do, at least with saws anyway. And I've certainly done, there's plenty more to do, but I hate the whole editing process with this YouTube stuff. That's why I'm doing a lot of live stuff. I'd much rather interact with you guys and answer questions if I can, about things that I can actually answer questions about. Yeah, the kids have, at least some part of my time and probably should see more. Okay, bye, Two Stroke. Thanks for coming, buddy. So, I don't know what the YouTube channel is gonna become. Maybe I'll just keep doing saws because I can't help it. But I really, I don't have any more commission work. Um, I'm trying not to take on more work, and I'm really trying not to buy any more saws. I don't need any more. I have literally a dozen more than I need. And I'm not the collector, I'm not the guy that likes to collect just for the sake of collecting and fill up a barn full of saws. Just dropped off your 90 to be fixed. Spark plug vibrated out, messed up the threads. Oh, well, yeah, you gotta pull the head for that, and on that saw, it's a bit of a pain to pull the head, which is why I don't work on 290 farm bosses. Anything else you guys have tonight? Because I'm gonna go upstairs and have a cup of coffee, I think. So I do appreciate everybody coming, and really, I do appreciate everybody hanging out. I think this is really cool, and I love doing the chats. I just thanks, TD. I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't have any other commission work. I don't have people that are banging down my door for saws right now. So um, I have other stuff I got to do, and like I said, who knows? I this is enough of a habit that it's kind of hard for me to stop. I'm always checking eBay for deals, but I'm definitely getting better at turning stuff down because there's just all kinds of stuff out there that just ends up being not worth it. Got to be careful about buying saws. I know Frank isn't careful; he just goes and buys everything. But see that guy full of like sheds full of saws. It's crazy. Living rooms and full. It's, thank God it's not me. Yes, blessings, TD. You take care, okay? Frank, I really, if you need any 394 parts, let me know. I might be getting rid of a box of randomness. If you like a box of randomness, then maybe we could work something out. I don't know. I got to get rid of some stuff just to get rid of it. Um, Too broke lately. Month was not nice financially. I'm sorry, buddy. Hey, I was off for 3 months at my own doing, of course, but yeah, I'm just catching up, which is great. I feel much better in that department. I'll tell you what, with the money, it feels a whole lot better, and hopefully going forward it'll continue to feel better. But I gotta stop with the saw business. I mean, I just all this saws. I gotta stop. I gotta sell tools. If anybody can help out selling tools, you're doing me a huge solid. I appreciate that. Buck Stock 2019. Yeah, I know. The only way I'd go to Buck Stock is if A, I had the time off just because I had the time off, and B, if I was actually able to bring a whole pile of tools with me and have some hope of actually demonstrating them and selling them. That I think that would be cool if I could do that. But I don't know. I just don't know. Because then that would actually pay. That would probably pay for the trip. If I could sell some tools out there, I could possibly pay for my trip. That might make sense. You know. So anything else? Okay. I think I'll call it and say thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to email me if you need anything. If you have any questions, obviously email me. If everybody remembers, any of my normal chainsaw videos actually have a link to HL Supply. If you need anything from HL Supply, click my link. It tracks you for like a month, and I actually get credit for whatever you buy. So I do appreciate that. That's a great way to support the channel. That way I can get store credit there, and that actually allows me to buy cool stuff that I can share with you. So I know, Union, Michigan. Again, it's a hell of a long way from Connecticut. I'd have to fly. We'll think about it. Okay, you guys take care. Everybody take care. Be safe. Okay. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Night, guys. I'll try to put the link for HL Supply here. Night, guys.